Denied allegations that she was appointed to the South African Airways Board of Directors by former President Jacob Zuma. Myeni is defending herself at her delinquency case in the High Court in Pretoria. Let's go live there.
Yes, I do.
Starts off with morning please.
Correct.
Do you remember this text?
I remember the text.
Was it sent by yourself?
Yes.
And who were you addressing it to?
Glynis.
Who is Glynis?
My lady, Glynis is Nico President Holt's wife. Therefore, if Nico was not available, sometimes Nico would switch off his phone and say, I don't want to respond on any matters of business. Therefore, I would like you to have my wife's phone so that if, in case you need to say anything, you text me on my wife's phone. So I had that type of an arrangement that we would communicate. He would send me an SMS on the wife's phone and I would respond on the wife's phone.
Now, it says, morning Glynis, hope you are well. Another call came through 3 minutes ago. We do not approve signing of any non-binding MOU. No approval is given. And any commitments on this matter best regard. Did you write that?
I did.
Now let's go through the substance thereof. I'll start in the middle of it. So we do not approve any signing of any non-binding MOU. When you say we, what do you mean now?
My lady, I was responsible for the national carrier, which is South African Airways, and therefore as a board chairperson, I was responsible for a collective. So I never at any given time speak and act as though SAA was my business. And therefore, every time I said something, I would say it on behalf of the board. There was no board resolution to this effect. Therefore, I could not state that I have not approved. That was not the spirit at which I would communicate. If I said I would be saying I to the board members to state my personal views, which on voting, my personal views would then be voted out or outvoted or approved, and then we take, even if I'm the only one who votes on something and the rest of the board members say no to it, I own it as a collective because that's how the decisions were made. Therefore, when I was saying I've received another call, no, I said we do not approve signing. It's still the board as a collective.
Now, the question is, you say another call came through 3 minutes ago. Do you remember who that call was?
Hamza Faruqi was calling me non-stop.
And what was he saying to you?
Asking if they can sign the memorandum in Paris.
So why then were you prompted to then write to Mr. President to give these instructions to him? Or why did you then feel the need to send this message to Mr. President?
I did not have any business to do with Hamza. That's a starting point. Or neither did the board have any business to do with Hamza as an Emirates consultant. So in other words, I felt we are being hounded by Emirates indirectly that sign this deal, sign this deal. Therefore, my communication would be to the CEO. The board had not taken a decision around the signing of the MOU. And the pressure that was mounting on me necessitated that I'm saying, I'm getting these calls. And upon learning when they came back from Paris, Hamza was with the team in Paris.
Now, my lady, we have, since the other day's discovery of documents, we also discovered what we said was incomplete board minutes. We've prepared a little bundle of it, which I'd like to make reference to.
Did you notify me to the client?
Yes.
Did I have any objection on those documents?
My lady, my learned friends tried to introduce all the documents now.
No, you can take the one.
We've already accepted those full minutes.
The minutes.
Yes, but we haven't accepted the whole fresh discovery.
But I only seek to use the minutes.
Then you just take that out of the mind. There was that
Just check with him if you can.
Sorry. Now, been presented with these. These are minutes of the continuation of the South African Airways SOC Ltd Board of Directors meeting held on Friday, 10 July 2015. Do you remember those?
Yes, I do.
Now, can we go to point 4.4, which appears on page 2?
Yes, I have it.
Says Emirates relationship. Can you please what it says? Read please what it says.
My apologies. My lady, I'm sorry. I'm left-handed, so all this...
Maybe
But-
if I can just move, will it assist you if I move the recording devices to the other side?
Maybe in the front of it. I think. My lady, the continuation of the minutes and the paragraph 4.4 on Emirates relationship reads as follows. The board confirmed that it was satisfied with the draft non-binding Emirates memorandum of understanding and concluded that the next process as outlined in the action list from the meeting held on 3 July 2015 with the Emirates operational review team should be followed.
Right, can you stop there, please?
Thank you.
What do you mean? What did it mean that the board confirmed that it was satisfied with the draft non-binding Emirates MOU?
This is one of the, or part of the approval process that I was referring to when I said on the 9th of June, we have not had a board meeting. One, we had not seen also the Emirates review team. That's a title we gave to the team that was responsible for the MOU. Therefore, this was after we had ticked all the boxes that we wanted to tick as the board, to ensure that the approval processes have gone through all the necessary governance processes. Therefore, this was part of the full deliberations, and what gave us confidence as the board was the fact that Dr. Tambi, who is a PhD, is a doctor in aviation, was part of this review team. So when they presented to us, we had no objection to approving, because we were now happier that the SAA's interests have been served. In other words, we had to guard against our own national carrier through a decision that was in favor of SAA through this review team. Therefore, that is the long and short of it was that it is at that particular meeting on the 10th of July that the approval of Emirates deal was done.
Was there a resolution?
There was a board resolution.
Can we go to page 7 of 9?
On the same minutes.
Same. Exactly. Now it says, page 7 of 9 of these minutes.
Page 7.
So, at the bottom, there's 2 signatures. See that?
Yes.
And can you identify any of the signatures? There's one above chairperson. Is that your signature?
The one, yes, it's my signature, and the other one is the company secretary's signature.
Now, are you saying that you signed this minutes?
I signed the minutes.
Now, please clarify for us your understanding of what happened, in the sense that after these minutes on the 10th of July said the board is satisfied with the Emirates MOU, do you know why then it was not implemented? Or this resolution was not implemented?
In attendance at this meeting, my lady, was Nico Holt. He was at this meeting. I cannot say why the implementation was not followed through. But after the whole Paris debacle and my name being dragged into the mud for a long time, and being made a scapegoat around the losses that are being incurred by not signing this memorandum of understanding, I said, I no longer care what happens thereafter. Here is an approval. The board applied its mind. May I also say this, my lady? If I was set up and signed this against the interdict by the Department of Transport against Emirates, and all the questions I had asked on the 2nd to the executives, I was still going to be doomed, because Sunday Times ran with a story that says Zuma blocked Emirates deal, because every other blame was Dudu or Zuma, which was quite unfortunate. I never had a voice. I still don't have a voice. Therefore, this was my voice to say, let's finalize, conclude this, but let's go through what I would be satisfied to say. I applied my mind. I exercised duty, care, and skill. That is the responsibility of every board member. That is why today I'm an expert in governance, because I know you don't just see something that is presented to you, you put a stamp and say approved. So I know, I don't know, but this is an opportunity for me to say it is not true, my lady, that the Emirates deal was blocked by Dudu. It is not true, my lady, that SAA lost monies and billions of rands because we did not approve this. But I can safely say, maybe Nico Holt did not get an opportunity to go and shine in France to sign in the presence of the world or global leaders in the aviation space. And therefore he comes back, he makes me a scapegoat. Not only that, he and Emirates are the ones who contacted Mr. Zuma, but because the narrative in the country is as bad as that, I was also wrapped into the same mold as a person who is a delinquent director that decided not to sign the Emirates deal, but
and this is probably the most interesting part of Dudu Myeni's testimony, defending herself against allegations that she was part of the people or the reasons that collapsed SAA. And the line of questioning that we've seen now was actually probing her proximity to former President Jacob Zuma. And I'm sure this is a story that will keep you posted on and unfolding here on SABC News. It's the end of the agenda, but On Point is coming up next. Don't go away.